Do you want to know the real reason why women love bad boys? It's because bad boys flip the script. Whilst 99% of men out there are desperate for validation and approval, are deeply insecure in themselves, and will do anything to be liked by other people. You know, they're always chasing girls for validation and approval. Their only way to get a girl liking them, attracted to them, is to flood her with attention, flood her with compliments, do all of these things for her. Whilst the bad boy does pretty much nothing. And she keeps coming back to him time and time again, even though there's guys out there that would do so much for her, and she doesn't care. Why is that, guys? Why is that? It's because the bad boy is authentic, okay? Girls are human beings, all right? They're not these angels. They're not these perfect goddesses to be worshipped and admired. They're human beings. They have flaws. They have errors, right? And the bad boy, because the bad boy is real, he is authentic. He does what he wants. He says what he wants. He's not scared of rejection. He's not scared of approval. He's not scared of hurting people's feelings. He's real, right? And what women truly want is connection, okay? They want to be with someone who they can be themselves with, okay? And if that guy is himself, he shows up as himself, then she's going to feel like she can show up as herself as well. Okay? So it's all very well and good knowing that women love bad boys and why women love bad boys. But the thing you have to ask yourself is, why can't you become a bad boy? What is it about your identity, your childhood, everything that's happened in your adulthood that's stopped you from owning who you are, owning what you want, your desires? What's made you chase people for their validation and for their approval? What is it that makes you so scared to stand out of line and be different, to be unique, to put yourself in a position where you might get judged, where you might get criticized, where you might get hated? Because I'm sure you've been through a lot of experiences that have shaped you and made you scared of that. But ultimately, fear is only something that is a survival mechanism, okay? We feel afraid when, for example, we're standing on top of a high building, or when we're about to do a bungee jump. And that fear is a logical fear, right? Because if we fall and there's no safety net, or, you know, we could die basically. So the only logical fear really is for our safety, if we're going to be in harm's way, okay? But the fear of being judged, the fear of being criticized, the fear of being outcasted is not a rational fear. Because in today's modern world, we can easily survive with judgment, with criticism, with rejection, with failure, with all of these negative things that we attach so much emotional energy to. Okay? And the bad boy, he's learned to not attach emotional energy to failure, to rejection, to all of these negative things that you're so emotionally attached to. And because of that, he's free. He's free to do whatever he wants to do. He feels free in himself. He doesn't really care what happens. Now, obviously, the bad boy is still a human being, right? There's no perfect guy out there who just doesn't give a fuck 100% of the time. Okay, and some guys are just naturally more nonchalant, more aloof, like they do what they want, they're more alpha naturally, okay? But I wasn't always that way. Okay, I was raised in a way where I always had to be perfect all the time. I had to be a good boy, you know, especially for my mum. I had to always do the right thing, you know, always do the right thing by other people. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing to do right by people. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're bending over backwards for people that wouldn't do anything for you, that's when it starts to become a problem, because you start abandoning yourself and you start minimizing your self-worth and your self-esteem. And that ultimately stops you from achieving things. It stops you from growing that business. It stops you from building a thriving dating life. It stops you from getting into amazing shape, because you're always focusing on other people. You're always focusing on not doing something wrong, right? But when you just learn to not give a fuck, you understand that, you know, your parents are always going to love you. Your siblings are always going to love you. There's certain people in your life that are always going to love you, no matter what you do. They're just going to love you, okay? And the rest, everyone else, can go fuck themselves. You know, they take you for who you are, and you show up as the best version of yourself. If they don't like it, that's on them. That's on them. But a big part of this, guys, is the influence of social media. We went to school, right? We were taught, you know, be a good boy, study hard, listen to the teacher. The teacher knows best. Your parents know best. And if you do everything good, then one day you'll have a successful job, a stable career, you'll get a house, family, kids, marriage, whatever. But a lot of you guys are waking up to the reality that life is pointless, meaningless, and full of shit. You know, how many divorces are there nowadays? You know, people have gone down that conventional route only to realize that it was a complete waste of time. But our mind has been conditioned from a very early age to follow the rules and do what we're told. And that's why social media is so important, because social media is programming your mind every single day. And the content you watch is programming your mind. The content you watch is the content that you are attracted to, that you are driven to watch. Unless you're just thinking with your dick and you're following loads of hot girls, loads of Instagram models, OnlyFans, whatever. The content that you watch, like educational content, let's say, is what's programming your mind. And what we do as human beings is that we look for stuff that validates what we already think and what we already believe. Okay, so if you're stuck in a pattern where you're not achieving the results that you want in life, then it's because you're conditioning your mind with views, with beliefs, with opinions that aren't geared towards you becoming successful. Okay? So I've gone on a bit of a tangent there, but the point is, guys, is if you want to learn how to become more of a bad boy, if you want to be more successful with women, if you want to be more real, more authentic, then you need to disconnect from social media, because social media is one of the biggest ways in which we are conditioned and programmed, and it conditions us to be good boys, okay, to do what we're told, to look for that social validation, for that social approval. And it's also about being a consumer and not a producer. Okay, women are attracted to guys who produce, because that is a masculine trait, to build something, to create. Okay, not to consume, not to be a observer, a watcher, just looking at what other people are doing, looking at famous influencers like Mike Thurston or whoever, and seeing what they're doing and comparing yourselves to that person, thinking, oh, I need to make that amount of money to be attractive to women. I need to be in that level of shape to be attractive to women. I need to do all of these things to women because I see other guys doing it on Instagram. I watch all these cute couple videos of guys doing all these things for women, and these guys are probably getting cheated on. But anyways, that's the most important thing as a guy, is to disconnect from everything, from your parents, from your friends, from all of your views and your beliefs, from social media, and actually just wipe your mind clean. Focus on your goals, on your desires, on what's actually true to you, how you feel inside when you achieve certain things, when you go after certain things, what you actually truly care about. And then you will find a way, you will find the views, you will find the beliefs, you will find the advice, the guidance that you need to get to where you want to be, and you will do it in your own way, okay? You'll do it in a way that's authentic to you and feels fulfilling, okay? Because there is no point in doing something and achieving something if you do it the wrong way, if you do it the way that other people have told you to do it, or the way that you've seen someone else do it, if it doesn't feel right to you, you know? Because you'll get to that achievement and it will feel empty, because you've not done it in an authentic way, you've not done it in an enjoyable way that was unique to you. So that's a bit of a tangent, obviously, from the main topic of this video, which was why women love bad boys. Okay, but to become a bad boy, you've really got to reprogram your mind. There is no special tricks, special techniques, things to do. Okay? Learn how to accept failure, learn how to accept rejection, learn how to accept criticism. Everything that you do, posting content, going and approaching girls, you know, messaging girls and saying outrageous things to them. All of these things can help you in your journey to becoming more of a bad boy, to becoming more of the guy that women are actually attracted to. But it starts with disconnecting from everything else that programs you to be a good boy. Hope this video helps, and I'll see you all in the next one.